I was just sitting here after listening to I am mantras. You are mantras, which are employed to basically give you a sense of self esteem and get you where you need to go, right? And then it's like you listen to a lot of adverts and you listen to a lot of people on the TV, and they often use this phrase like, I find I have got X amount in it. So it's all right? It says self esteem. Now, as a Londoner from a working class background, I feel like my whole head's fucking concave in by people because I can remember the amount of people coming into CV workshops and stuff and going, never use I am. Whatever you do, you must sort of like try and put it in this context for your employer. And you should always refrain from using I have or I and putting I's in sentences. So it's like 12 years experience in, and try to avoid I. And you go, well, that says it all, doesn't it, really? Like, you, as a working class person, there's no I, because you're just a subservient little slave bitch. And you're supposed to actually forget what your soul is. So, literally, it is like that. I'm starting to see the world like that. It's like, it's all just externally put there just to kind of crush out your essence and totally remove you from yourself in some exploit of trying to get some cash. And then you feel like you've probably been so over programmed wrong that you just like you won't get your self-worth. Your self-worth is this or this. The amount of people I listen to now, coaches and stuff like that, and it's just like with each one you go, yeah, okay, but I've got to find a coach that's particularly good for me because I feel like if I'm listening to this person subconsciously, they might be like subconsciously getting into my subconscious, and it might not be even in my best interest to be opening up and receiving. I mean, what's your concept of that? So you start to go like, so, oh, yeah, the kingdom of heaven lies within, and you just have to find your own concept. And basically, what it comes down to is you are only available for what you want or better, right? But it's safe to say you have to fix on what you want and not be this wide open porthole for all sorts of effery from other people externally, because that's what it comes to look like energetically. It's like you're in the world, people come into the world to manipulate matter, or they want success, or they just want the basics. But it's not until you get to this place where your head's totally done the in, and you're like, nobody even provided any of the tools for my success, other than externally sourcing them now for myself. And you're surrounded by people that don't respect the craft that you want to get into. So in respecting them, that's the only thing holding you back. And you go, okay, so this is time to take the leap because you feel like you've got the tools and you're at this understanding, and you probably won't get it's your second chance, so to speak, after failures and after being made feel like Captain Phillips, like you're carrying the cargo, the vessel, the precious product across the seas of life, and the pirates are just the fucking metropolitan police and mugs that you're like you don't want to talk to anyone anymore, like women or anything else, because you've exposed your life on social media. You're prone like to people getting at you via different channels with, I swear, agendas and shit. And it's around the carnivalesque and the music scenes. It's like, don't blame Eton, or don't blame the French, blame Eton, because some French woman was very short-sighted employing the police to tell me she didn't want letters during COVID, which opened a shitstorm of 60 hours in a cell and 2 arrests, 1 on holiday and 1 at an airport. Where there's no sex or sexual harassment, there is no fucking crime. If that person hasn't employed a strongly worded email first, that's called wasting police time by regular standards. But when you've got a voice or opinion and you've been arrested after a unity march just for filming it and stuff like that, you're on their agenda and their radar, and they're busybodies, and they are basically pirates, and they're fucking with your life and your vessel, and they're taking your confidence, and you feel like you can't travel alone as a woman again. It's like, what is this bullshit? Like relentless absolute fucking fuckery and bullshit. And you go, oh, so I've just come around to sit and meditate and learn all the things that I should have learned, and I shouldn't have been programmed with false crap just to make me a slave to that was in writing for stage management. It was CV writing at stage management course. It's like, what is that? So it's like literally you come to the point where you go like, actually, oh, so everything externally was just lack of abundance, lack of opulence, and was just actually just fuckery, like the worst form of fuckery for you to actually aspire to be in the best place for you. And in the meantime, when you feel like you've gone through enough, you've applied yourself and tried to move and shake in enough circles and really, really put yourself out there. If the proof isn't in the meta abuse, the proof should be there. But you've still got people going, "You're spoiled. You should just get a job." And it's like, do you know what? I think that society is just setting people up to just become the Wayne Brady's. If this was America, I tell you, you'd be like, put one in your own head or put it in fucking everybody around you that says the word sport. You'd be triggered. You'd be like, poof, fucking sport, is he? They'd drive you to that edge of sanity. I wouldn't do that. But the point is, that's the feeling that people make it that unbearable, especially if you are artistically inclined, because you don't have agendas of, oh, sorry, I don't want to have a child, I wouldn't birth them, just because my personal experience has taught me that I have a certain way of looking at the world, which probably isn't your average. Okay, you can say make what you want of it, but the people like me that actually see it for what it is are the people that then create content or say things that might inspire other people. So everybody's valid in the world. You are worthy. I am more than worthy. I've always been worthy, but people have just been fucking with me to some next level until I actually had the tools to dissect, surmise everything that's actually going on. And I'm not sure how many people walk around in that sort of like illusion, because some people do have aspirations, other people don't. So they don't mind removing the I from their whole life experience. Remove the whole I and for me's and the first person. Just remove everything of it for you to just spit in that wage and sit there in a version of a life going, "Whoa, what a funny presentation this is. Oh, isn't it funny that we're committing gross misconduct over citizens of the world, but I'm not accountable because I'm on a wage. What a presentation." That's what actually is occurring in society in a lot of quarters. And it's like, unjustifiable, and there's nobody held accountable, and often it's a fucking DC stuck up bitch that can't even look you in the eye because, oh, do you know anything about a birthday card for spending 2 days in a cell for a funky pigeon birthday card? Oh, that must have been an afterthought because they fucked with the system and left me on it and just abused the system to have me arrested on holiday. What a load of bollocks. But it's like no one's accountable. Oh, isn't it funny? All desensitised, and you write emails, and if there is an industry crossover and the filmland has any respect for me, then they should fucking address me. So you just stop looking and having any faith in the industry. You stop looking to the stars because the stars ain't shit, because the stars don't help you. And I know what my I am is now. Oh, my I am's worthy. Like everybody else's I ams is worthy. But because I'd been over programmed with don't use I ams and oh, don't ever say for you, it's like for me, oh no, that sounds egoic. How disempowering is a London scenery is basically the point. How disempowering on a subconscious level is it to somebody that's had such a working class ethos, my background? Then you can look at me if I get there and say, oh, that's a success story. Oh, she might have all the tools that other people might need to hear to become success stories if they are also in marginalised demographics being kicked around since the day they were born by people saying, don't say I. You don't exist in your own world. It's almost like a ghost ship. But then you realise that the ghost ship's also externally exposed. Is how many other people have been marginalised in that presentation? Maybe some of the stars. Maybe some of it's totally disingenuous. Maybe some of them are following certain unethical protocol. Oh, and then they always try to shoot down the person that goes, I, I've got an idea that's really in the best intentions or that could work alongside that so a lot of other eyes aren't forgotten in some stupid presentation that somehow degrades them and demoralises them and says there ain't an eye there. So if you're an alcoholic and you've been taught that there ain't no eye there, maybe we can just snuff out these numbers and quarters a bit earlier, not give them the right help they deserve. I mean, sometimes you just see things happen around NHS and go, how many people have got a negative story to tell? Everybody who's got this, who's so many things. But people just go, oh, I'll just put in a claim, and that how hard is that? And how many years do you have to wait for a medical negligence check? Just clock, 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 clock on the treadmill, whatever. So it's just like, you know who my I am is? It's the best fucking I am on the planet right now in the Western world. So isn't it time I got my I am the I ams in opulence from the right circles and the right people? Or we got to sit here for another fucking decade talking about things and all being all existentially full of shit. Because basically, I don't even like leaving the door. If I go out now, it's like, I feel like it's a glitch, like the universe is being a bit of a failure in its inability to just address and be resentful or arsey or not actually see the worth in what a girl wants to do unless she's fucking spreading her legs and having a kid, and that's not in her writing. That's not in my program. That's not what I was put on earth for, because I was never I am. And I haven't got a God complex that can be an I am to be a mother. No. I've got an I am working background complex that is basically more psychologically inclined, more one of those dissectors, like I said. So this rarity that you're looking at on this screen right now, that needs help. Not negative help, not fucking Captain Phillips. We don't need to be taken over by any skanky fucking entities called the Met or anybody else. We need straightforward communication. Not bullshit, but this country, this little smutty land hole, it just sees sexuality. It sees that you've made some mistakes in your life, or we'll just hold this up and let's live in the past, because that's all we can do. Because we're all just egoic. Oh, and I think you're demasculating my penis because you're really logical and you're really much of a design artist there with your strategic designs to help community and the way you present yourself. Oh, I feel like I've been kicked in the nuts in your presence. Oh, let's get at her and punish her, because that's what it actually is. People can't see beyond gender, can't see beyond this, can't see beyond that. Well, sorry about that, but you're fucking employing AI, and just because it presents like a female or a male, then that's easier for you to fucking process, is it, than an actual breathing flesh blood human? Oh, it's easier just to take the human rights and just go, let's make an example of that so other girls don't follow in that. And that's actually what the UK is. Eton, you say. Blame them. Well, I can blame my sister and the people that get close to you just to fuck you up because, it's an egoic meme battle of entertainment. And there's so many voices in the arena. It's better just to take a chunk off that one and stand in a side and a camp just to attack. So then I can be like, I've got bragging rights about that person, or I've got bragging rights about that person. The people there's nobody that can brag about me. I could tell you the stories in the back shit and the shit that I've been through. It's like you can't make it up. You're like, fuck London. Like, honestly, if I can you make it here? Or does it feel just like a closed set? I mean, with the Soho, closed set. A square mile surrounded by police if it wants to be, or closed sets and things like that. It's like it becomes to a point when you've been through enough, you're like, I don't even want to I'm not sure I want to socialise, because don't know that it's safe, don't know that there's anything worth going out there for, who's the next person that's going to talk to you, or if it's some sort of fuckery. And that's pathetic, isn't it? Because I outrank a lot of the people that are already up there, and if those people already up there can't see the vision, well, they're not the people's people, are they? They're not the people's artists. They're not the next big thing, are they? And I'm ready to be that next big thing. Have been for quite some time. But at the same time, fucking tired as fuck of zero comms. Like you're all fucking ghosts out there, all living through a screen of this or this or this. Where's the com? Where's the actual community? Where's the ticket? Where's the ticket to LA to talk to someone of relevance, to get the ball rolling? Where's the agent that actually puts into action the things that have been wrote, just so that person can start generating money and actually make a difference in the community? Not just like a difference in your direct fam, but a bigger difference for people. With people putting to work their work that they want to do, like just connecting the community at a grassroots level. You know, there's so many different people out there. You can do so much with what we've got, but they're fucking, look at the way we can make space exploration cheap. I wouldn't want to go to fucking space with anything that I've met. I haven't met enough decent people to even want to go into space. Why would I want to go into space with when the human race ain't that decent? It's all preoccupied with itself and false egoic and full of shit. Just saying.